Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And there is chaos at Nickelodeon Animation. We talked, I think it was a couple months ago, we said that the word on the street was that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had been canceled over there. And it was confirmed, and now they're actually going to put TMNT on YouTube with a different studio. But apparently, the bloodbath doesn't stop there. Apparently, almost everybody has been fired at Nickelodeon except the people who worked on SpongeBob.
Wow.
Because that makes money. Let's be honest.
That's a lot of people to get rid of.
That's a lot of people.
I mean, are they being sarcastic or are they serious?
They're serious. Yeah, this is coming from a user, a cartoon fan on X, saying that Max and the Midnights has been confirmed as ending. The Skydance fired everyone at Nick Animation except for the SpongeBob crew. Allegations seem more true than they ever appeared to be earlier. So this is what...
See, I thought they were just being like, oh, it feels like they fired everybody, but that's what I didn't know they actually did.
No, because they were saying before, I remember hearing about this, people said that they were trying to save a bunch of money because they wanted to buy Warner Brothers. Skydance wanted to buy Warner Brothers. So they're like, yeah, animation isn't making any money. And honestly, nobody's really watching Nickelodeon now except for SpongeBob reruns. And SpongeBob is the Nick equivalent of Teen Titans Go on Cartoon Network. But yeah, the word is they've fired pretty much everybody. And they're
trying to buy Warner Brothers.
Because they're trying to buy Warner Brothers. That's the rumor. And this is coming from the film industry. Well, we'll talk. This is from like a month or so ago on Reddit. But we'll talk about this. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
So yeah, this we'll walk it back a little bit. We talked before about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon getting canceled. Now it's been confirmed that they're going to be putting a new show, not that show, but a new show on YouTube because more kids watch YouTube than they do Nickelodeon now.
Well, they do. I mean, our kids, before it was the cool thing to do, our kids used to watch YouTube before school. And that was when, it wasn't so common. And now pretty much everybody puts their kids on YouTube and,
yeah.
Let's be honest.
Just here's the iPad. Go watch some slop. Yeah, well, it was weird. I did a short earlier today talking about all the old Cartoon Network shows going to Tubi. I don't know if you heard about that, but they're all going to Tubi. And they said the viewership for Cartoon Network currently is 55 to 75,000 people max.
Oh my gosh.
It used to be millions.
Yeah. Same with Disney Plus and stuff like that. They've dropped off a cliff as well.
Yeah.
Disney XD. Disney's still trying to put things on those networks first, but it's not seeming to work very well.
Kids aren't watching it. And that's the thing. Like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, that was a huge part of our kids' childhood, but they were even on kind of the tail end of, I think, the peak of it. Right. Because it was like really, really big for a long time. And it was a star maker, too. Like any kid that was on Disney Channel, especially, they'd wind up with like a recording deal and a movie career and, all that. And now it's just like.
Well, there was then there and like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, they all three places they would do the kids' shows. I mean, some would be animated, some would be. But that was where all the kids hung out.
Yeah, it was a huge deal. And then, they just completely fell off. So this was a couple of months ago. And this is one of the subreddits that I think is actually pretty legit because we've gone out here before and they're talking about the state of the industry. It said chaos at Nickelodeon, multiple shows canceled at Nick Animation as a result of the WB Paramount merger. Now, this was before Netflix basically said, hey, I'm not convinced Netflix is going to get Warner Brothers. I think they're going to throw a wrench into it and Paramount might actually wind up with
Paramount keeps offering stuff. Stockholders might just be like, no, we're going to go with them. It's possible because they keep sweetening the pot. I just think it's funny. It's just like they won't take no for an answer.
Yeah. Yeah, they won't. And they keep,
Will Netflix sue then if Paramount gets, or you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a big mess no matter what. It's like a messy, divorce, Who
gets the kids?
Basically, it's going to be insane. But anyway, back to this.
So this was insider knowledge. And I actually had somebody that worked in the animation industry come to me. It was about 2 or 3 months ago and said, that they canceled that Ninja Turtles show they were going to do. So
she told me back when they told you.
And this person would know because this person worked with Nickelodeon before. But this is another insider.
You don't know anyone. You just make shit up.
Yeah. A bit of insider knowledge, and you didn't hear it from me, but Nick is in complete panic mode at the moment. Paramount went down hard on them and canceled Paramount Self. Nick had absolutely nothing to do with it, and they're pretty empathetic. Several shows. So this would be Paramount. So basically, the Ellisons got control of Paramount, and immediately they started chopping. He said, I can't tell you exactly which for legal reasons, and I can't confirm if a new Wish is in there for sure, as I only, that'd be the, I think it's Fairly Odd Parents, I think. As I only know of 3 specific shows, and the rest was left as an et cetera in the briefing, but I 101% wouldn't be surprised if it was among them, especially as many of these canceled shows were quite profitable, some extremely so, and their slashing seems completely arbitrary to everyone working on them, Nick included. The team I work with speculates all these nonsensical cuts might have to do with the whole Warner Brothers purchase attempt. I assume a series with a higher budget like this one would probably be one of the first they'd cut. Unfortunately, regardless of financial success and audience acclaim. Audience acclaim, I'm going to tell you the truth, especially to the Ellisons, means jack shit. They don't care. Like, audience acclaim, cool. People like it. Critics like it, cool. Who's watching it? And if it's like Cartoon Network is right now, only 55,000 people are watching it, and it might be grandma just leaving it on for the grandkids or great grandkids when they come over because she thinks that's what they want to watch. Meanwhile, they're actually on their phones watching AI slop, right? And here's another message my friend's insider said. David Ellison has a boner for Warner Brothers and really wants to buy it.
No, no kidding. Yeah. I don't think his boner can get much bigger at this point.
So this seems to be corroborated, and this was 2 months ago, and then we have this guy here.
So they're talking about Ninja Turtles. Is that what they were talking about?
They're talking about Ninja Turtles. They're talking about the Fairly Odd Parents. They're talking about Loud House.
Well, when they're saying the really big one that was really big and that was very profitable, I'm assuming they meant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and I guess the new door, they were going to do a new door, and they canceled that too. So it's like all getting, it's crazy. Programming strategy shift. But the only people that are safe, apparently, this is the word, this is a rumor, according to this guy on X, so that's, whatever. But the only people that are safe are the SpongeBob people, probably because they make money. SpongeBob makes money. SpongeBob's about the only...
Ninja Turtles makes money too. But...
Well, Ninja Turtles is sort of like, it's becoming its own thing now. They just announced a whole bunch of stuff they're doing with Ninja Turtles, and they said they want to bring Ninja Turtles back, and they want it to be as big as it was in the 90s, so they've got restaurants coming. They ditched...
Didn't Mattel just get it?
Mattel got the license.
Yeah, there was a big announcement. Mattel got it.
Yeah, they just announced this. They're going to do G.I. Joe, Ninja Turtles. Now, this is Playmates.
Yeah, you tell me about that.
I'm actually excited about this one. I didn't care for the He-Man ones that much, but it works. And the April is Scarlet definitely works. But Dial Tone, I don't understand why they're doing Dial Tone. That's weird. Dial Tone sucks. Nobody cares about Dial Tone.
Probably because it's, because he's the tech one or whatever.
That's what I'm thinking. They're like, oh, we need a techie. Okay.
And that's the closest we can get. I'm sure there was better options, but okay.
Yeah. But no, I love the Cobra ones.
When are they coming out?
I think this fall. I think they're coming out.
Because I know when I need to start watching for it.
Yeah. So what's But what's going to happen is after this line in 2027 is when Mattel takes over, and I don't know what they're going to look like, but I think Playmates is going to go out of business because this was their bread and butter. Like they basically, I think Playmates and Ninja Turtles as a brand were kind of hand in hand. But I don't know if the Mutant Mayhem figures sold as well as they were hoping for because the movie didn't do as well.
Which is again, that was they were cool figures though.
They were nice figures, and the price point was good.
And that's the thing about Playmates is this stuff is made pretty well, and the price is fair. And now it's going to go. Hopefully, Mattel keeps the price down, but.
It's Mattel.
Yeah, I hope Playmates doesn't go out because they did a good job of stuff.
I think they will, but they're basically recalibrating everything with Turtles. They're going to do new games. They're doing restaurants. We already saw it. They're doing like a almost like a Hello Fresh box where you can make your own pizza at home.
They are. There's several different recipes that are Ninja Turtle themes. Yes.
So that's kind of like becoming its own thing. But all the other stuff outside of Turtles, it sounds like it's on the chopping block. Turtles and SpongeBob, because they know those things sell. So this guy, Jason the cartoon fan. So after 22 and a half years, yesterday was my last day at Nickelodeon. From fatherhood to the X's to the Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Tough Puppy, Loud House. I've had the most amazing, unexpected, and unpredictable career. I couldn't be more grateful or proud. So this guy is gone after 22 years.
22 and a half years.
22 and a half years. I certainly hope it's not over yet. I know the state of animation is dire at the moment. We tried telling people. We tried telling people these things, and all they do
He's
is
just
attack
negative.
us for it.
Cancel him quickly. He needs to learn. He needs to keep his mouth shut, not listen to anybody, especially those Clownfish TV people.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my God. Yeah, So yeah, it's not good. So they're getting rid of people. So he says, regardless of how you felt about the overall quality of the show, it's so impressive that any Nicktoon after the mid 2000s managed to have a solid run. Yeah, I'm shocked it's still on. So apparently there's a whole bunch of other cancellations. They said there are rumors that once they took control of Paramount, Skydance fired everybody at Nick's animation studio except the crew behind SpongeBob SquarePants. And the way Sullivan's post on the Loud House implies those rumors were true. So this goes along with they got rid of the head of animation. I remember that when they first came in. And I think they're going to consolidate because Skydance has its own animation. And
yeah, because that's what they have their own thing that they're going to do. They're going to get rid of redundancies.
Yeah, and then here again, this is we get these people all the time too. This guy says the rumors are probably not true since they still make those 2 seasons of Rock, Paper, and Scissors. The supposed seasons 2 and 3 of Rock, Paper, Scissors are really just season 2 split in half. Mm-hmm. Those episodes were greenlit right before Skydance entered the picture for Nick. People don't understand how long it actually takes to get an animated series out the door, and they do episode orders.
And Shiri's had a hissy because we said that we thought that, that what they had left was already probably being finished up and they already worked on ahead on it and everything else. That's not true. They're getting more seasons. It's like, no, there aren't. They're just the same season split into chunks and they're calling it different seasons. And that's what it was.
Yeah, it was done at that point. Yeah, at that point, Shiro was done.
The people behind it were looking for new jobs.
They were looking for new jobs. They were doing GoFundMe, some of them. They didn't know what they were going to do. But they're like, no, Clownfish, you're lying because season 5's coming. I'm like, yeah, bitch, they put it together like 2 years ago. It's like how people just, they do not understand. But I mean, that's an incredible run. But a lot of animators now are, jumping ship and going to their own indie projects. And you've been talking, some of them are going into comics and stuff now too.
Yeah, I'm seeing people doing webcomics and stuff. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I think in some cases, people are going to be better off doing it on their own. I know we talked about Matt Braley, the guy behind Amphibia, having his movie canceled at Sony, and then he's going to go start his own thing on Kickstarter. And we have Dana Terrace from the Owl House doing Knights of Guinevere, and I guess she's doing pretty good. She just got an episode order and an ending and all that. And it's just not. This is what we try to get across to people. Like on the totem pole, animation to these studios is not important. It really is not. It costs a lot, and it usually doesn't get a return on investment unless, again, you're SpongeBob or Turtles or something like that. And that's what they're looking for. So when they greenlight shows in the future, they're going to be looking at the return on the investment, and they're not going to greenlight your Tumblr fanfic.
But the bad part about that is you get breakouts like K-pop Demon Hunters that are probably never going to happen again or get a chance because they just happened to get in between where they were greenlighting and canceling, and they were able to squeak by. And it did really well. It was original. It did fantastic. And then you have other things that might have done just as well. They're never going to get to see the light of day because they're just going to double down on established people they know, and their show might not be great, or like things they already own, a rehashed version of something they already have. And it's just going to be the same shit, different day.
Yep. That's just it.
But we told you this was going to happen.
All the original stuff is going to wind up coming from independent voices. And you
can, if you do it independently, you can do what you're going to do. Like the one guy he's going to go do his independent thing because they took the other thing away from Sony. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I think people need to get over the fact that, you're not going to get your show unless you do it yourself first and prove that you can do it. Your show or your comic or whatever it is, you're not going to go through the system. You're not going to be plucked out of obscurity, handed hundreds of millions of dollars to piss away on your half-baked Tumblr fanfic. Those days are over. They're never coming back. I think if you go out there and you do something on your own and you can prove that it has, I hate to be that guy, but you can prove that it has commercial value, then you might get a bigger studio interested in working with you or distributing it or whatever. And this might actually be a better deal for you because these studios, they want to own everything. They'll give you the money to do your show, but they want to own everything and they want to micromanage everything. And they're not gonna give you a bunch of money to do whatever the hell you want and then let you walk away with the rights to it too.
That's not fair because they need to let me do my show that I should have watched when I was a kid that panders to the 5% of people like me in the world. And if they don't give it to me, they're just a bunch of bigots.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well, bye, there's door.
Well, that's just it. Like there's definitely, I think unprecedented opportunity for creatives, but you're going to have to go back to that DIY, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, bootstrap it yourself. And, everybody's like, oh, well, Walt Disney. I'm like, do you know what Walt Disney went through to get his shit off the ground? The poverty and the bankruptcies and the,
because he was a white man.
Yeah, it was just handed to him. Yeah. Ask his family. Ask his family how it went early on. I mean, it took him a long time. He basically had to speed run all of his mistakes up front to figure out what actually worked and then pivot the direction of the company. If he didn't have his brother, he would have gone bankrupt 10 times over.
They didn't have safety nets back then like they do now either. Like if you scrubbed out, your family went hungry. Too bad,
He was trying to do the impossible during the damn Depression. Right. It was like, I mean, so it was like a triple whammy, but, yeah. And there were a lot of, people look at these stories and it's like, there are a lot of things that went wrong. And I don't think a lot of people today that want to make things have what it takes to actually get the stuff out there.
They don't have the drive or the grit to do it. And the ones that do, even if I don't like what they do, they deserve the win because they're out there doing it. They put their money where their mouth is. It's nothing my cup of tea, but I can totally respect the fact that they did it for themselves, and I will support them, even if I don't always agree with them, because they did it. As long as they aren't being a complete asshole, then
There you go.
It's cool you did it, but you're still an asshole.
Well, here's an update here real quick before we end it. But this is the OP. They said Skydance wants to erase Nickelodeon from existence in the next few years. His words, not mine. But he has no idea how the consolidation will affect SpongeBob yet. He believes it could still survive on its own anyway without Nick, because it's outgrown them for a while now. Yeah, SpongeBob, you can throw it on Paramount. It doesn't have to be Nickelodeon branded. Per his words, the whole discussion was brought about by the fact that season 15 and 16 of SpongeBob are airing very fast, like Nickelodeon is trying to burn off the currently renewed order as quickly as possible before they go kaput. And season 15 in particular is the fastest aired season of the show in the U.S. On a note so far, season 15 aired all episodes in less than a year, which is a first for the show, and 16 is currently airing. Started right after 15 finished airing in 2025 with 4 more episodes not aired yet. So yeah, it sounds like they're trying to burn it off. What might actually hurt them, though, is the last movie did not do that well at the box office. So they might be, again, the Ellisons are bean counters, and they're going to look at this and be like, oh, I guess SpongeBob is over, huh? I guess people aren't really into SpongeBob like they used to be.
You gotta flip that bean. Bye.
See ya, SpongeBob.
Valentine's Day. Anyways.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll see what happens. But this could be the end of Nickelodeon. I mean, I think. Look, it's barely there anyway. Same with Cartoon Network. Like, it's hard to mourn Cartoon Network when they're not making new shows and it's not what it was 15 years ago anyway, and it's just all Teen Titans Go reruns. It's like it's dead.
If somebody had come up with a network that captures that feeling again, I think they do really well. But good luck on that. You'd have to get I think if you get a hold of a lot of the old stuff and get it back on the air and then make new stuff that felt like the old stuff, you'd probably do well. But no one's going to put money in that.
Yeah, I was excited. This is a side note, but Night Flight. Hold on, I got to show you this. So I didn't even realize until the other day that Night Flight is back. I talk about Night Flight all the time because they used to have all kinds of like indie animation and stuff like that. And they actually have a streaming service now, but they archived all the stuff. They have all the clips. They have a bunch of the movies they used to run during Night Flight, but they have all the animated shorts. Some of the stuff was fantastic. But yeah, if you had something like that, then maybe all these guys could get together and put together some kind of, Cartoon Network-like or Nickelodeon-like streaming service or something. But it would probably be very niche. I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of people, subscribing.
Just combine them and call them Nicktoon Network and be done with it.
The Nicktoon channel.
Something.
There we go. All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe, but we'll talk later.
Bye.